Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I just felt like making another video. I'm very bored. So you guys get 3 videos today. And basically I'm going to be going over a Donald Trump best case scenario. And yeah. Well, let's get into it. So I don't know if I said Biden or not, but I meant Trump best case scenario if I did say Biden. But yeah. So in a Donald Trump best case scenario, New Mexico would turn to likely, and Oregon would also turn to likely, and then Colorado would turn to lean instead of likely. Um, Obviously, both of these states I think will be safe. Colorado likely, same thing with Oregon. I believe it will be safe, and a state like New Jersey, Connecticut, and Rhode Island would also be considered likely. One of these states is wrong. One of these states shouldn't be likely. Whatever. I'll just put them all as likely. But in this best case Trump scenario, all of these states, I believe one of them is wrong, but all 3 of these states in a Trump best case scenario would be won by about 12%. Colorado would be won by around 5%. New Mexico probably around 8%, and Oregon probably around 13%. Now, let's go over to the other states. In a Donald Trump best case scenario, Iowa would most likely be won by around 9 points, just like it was in 2016. Same thing with Ohio. I think that would be a lean, but I think that in a best case scenario, Donald Trump would win it by around 6 percentage points. And in a best case scenario, Donald Trump would most likely win Georgia by around 5 percentage points. I know that's by how much he won it in 2016, but Georgia has been shifting to the Democratic Party quite a bit. So in a best case scenario, he would win it about how he did in 2016. And in a best case scenario, I would consider Maine's 2nd District a likely. He would win it by around 13%, around 10%-ish, and Maine's 2nd District would be a likely state, or district. And in a best case scenario, I would consider Texas to be a lean. Not a likely or not a tilt, but in a best case scenario, Donald Trump would win it by around 5%, maybe 3%. It would be close still, but Donald Trump would win it by around a lean margin. And also, in a best case scenario, Virginia would most likely go to a lean. If it was a best case scenario, Joe Biden winning it by around 6 percentage points. I believe Joe Biden will get the victory in Virginia no matter what, but nonetheless, if it is a best case scenario for Donald Trump, Virginia would be lean. Now I'm going to go kind of to the south, work my way over by Arizona and Nevada, then I'll do the Rust Belt in New Hampshire. So, in a best case scenario for Donald Trump, North Carolina, I would put as a lean, winning it by about around 3 percentage points, like what he did in 2016. Not a big surprise, and yeah. And with Florida, I would say best case scenario would also be a lean, winning it by around 2 percentage points to 3 percentage points. But as you know of my rankings, 2 percentage point is a tilt, so best case scenario, I would put it as a tilt. And now, as of over here, the best case scenario, Nevada would be a tilt. In a best case scenario for Donald Trump, Nevada would be won by around 1 to 2 percentage points by Joe Biden, which, as you know, would be a tilt. And also in a best case scenario, Arizona would be won as a lean. He would win it by around 3 or 4 percentage points if it were a best case scenario. Do not think he will carry Arizona, but this is a best case scenario. Now we move over to the Rust Belt in New Hampshire. So in the Rust Belt, he would obviously win Wisconsin by a tilt margin. He would also win Michigan as a tilt margin. And he would win Pennsylvania as a tilt margin. If this were a best case scenario, he would win the Rust Belt once again, and he would get 305 electoral votes with the Rust Belt in this right now. Also, in a best case scenario, I believe he would win New Hampshire if this were an absolute best case scenario. He would win New Hampshire by around a single percentage point probably less than that. He would win New Hampshire around what he did in the Rust Belt under a percentage point if he were to win New Hampshire in a best case scenario. And a best case scenario would be he comes out in the BLM movement. He supports the BLM movement, and he comes out and in like support of handling coronavirus. He comes in support of shutting down schools. He comes in support of mandatory mask wearing. He comes in support of shutting down the economy so that coronavirus can heal. And if he did do all of that, his numbers would definitely go up, which is why I'm surprised he hasn't done so yet. And in a best case scenario, Nebraska's 2nd district would be a lean. Nebraska's 2nd district, I do think, will go to Joe Biden, but if this were a best case scenario, it would go to Donald Trump by around 5 percentage points. And now Minnesota, the biggest, most likely the biggest shocker to you guys. I think if this were a best case scenario, it would go to Donald Trump by a tilt margin. I don't think it will, but if this were a best case scenario, it would go to Donald Trump by a tilt margin. And so this would be the best case scenario, in my opinion. But I want to go over Donald Trump just having the best time of his life. You know, like everybody's in support of him. If everybody was in support of him, did some amazing crap, he would win Colorado, he would win Nevada, and he would win Virginia. Do I think this will happen? No. There's about a 1 in 10,000 chance of this happening. So, yeah, I do not think that will happen. So overall, this would be Donald Trump's best case scenario, him winning at 320 electoral votes to 218 for Joseph Biden. So I would like to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow.